Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, August 9th, 2020. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you're new, please check out my website at lisahopp.com. That's lisahopp.com. I'm spelling it for you, and I can't spell it myself. Well, it's early. My website holds everything about the nature of my work, my services, my books, my upcoming events. So please go check it out and sign up for the newsletter. Also, I am on Facebook under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. And if you're listening to me on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe and share. I'd appreciate it so very much. I'm the little engine that could. Steadily and steadily I'm growing, and I love it. Thank you so much. And for those coming back, your comments warm my heart. They not only validate, but they make me feel like I have a purpose. And that isn't really your job to make me, it's my job to feel as though I have a purpose. But those comments truly do help me. So I appreciate you so very much. Keep them coming, especially if you want me to talk about something. You can also, by the way, message me at serendityharbor@verizon.net if you'd like me to talk about a topic. But let me know. And because it's important. So, if you're coming back week after week, and thank you if you are, you're amazing. You're my intrepid listeners. You know that usually within 30 minutes of the broadcast, I start to think about what am I going to talk about. It usually comes to me last minute. Today was about 5 minutes before. And that's okay, isn't it? I was listening to a lecture recently, and the wonderful speaker was speaking about all of us and how often actually, we go through life thinking that things aren't available to us. They're just not ours to have. I know I currently feel that way about one thing, but that doesn't mean, well, it's temporary. For my one thing, I know it's just a matter of making a change. For the most part, I know that I can have whatever I set my mind to, and that is a spiritual and universal truth. But a lot of us do walk around this earth feeling and thinking that we cannot have what we would like to ask for, that is not available. Maybe we don't feel that we're enough to have it, that we're not worthy or deserving. Well, that isn't the truth. But I want to focus on what is in your mind unavailable. Do you feel that hitting a certain body weight is unavailable? And why would that be? Because whatever you set your mind to, you achieve. The mind is very powerful. It gives back to you what you tell it. So if you tell it that you are overweight, and you'll always be overweight, and there's no way you can ever lose the weight, it'll keep giving you and your body the circumstances and the reality of never really losing weight. You might lose a little, but then it will pop up right back like a yo-yo. The power of the mind. Maybe as well you've told yourself, I can't have a child. Perhaps it's because you feel you're too old. Or maybe you've had some difficulties and nothing has worked. The wonderful thing is what the mind believes, the body obeys. So if it is something that is truly a desire of yours, all you truly have to do is tell your mind that it is yours. And then you relax. You do the necessary creating, action, intimacy with your partner, and you allow it to happen in your own divine timing. I know my entire life I was told that once you get to a certain age, your body will not produce children. I was told 40 was too old. But don't we now hear every so often on the news of someone in their 50s having a child? Or even someone in their 40s and they're healthy children. What the mind believes is what it gives to you. And if you believe at 40 that time of your life is done, then your body does obey you. Now that doesn't mean, by the way, that you've been living life all wrong and you're to blame. This isn't about blame or any kind of negativity. This is about giving you the tool of empowerment, of knowledge, of spiritual truth. Your life is in your hands, and you can create whatever you set your mind to, if it is truly what your will wants. Perhaps you feel that love is unattainable because you don't know how you could have it. Maybe you do have a union right now, and it's not all that you would want it to be, but you have children or financial thoughts of limitation. So you feel that a real, happy, warm, romantic, fulfilling relationship is not available to you. Now, that's just a few examples of what we tell ourselves about what is not available to us. And these beliefs, this belief that we have, it comes from our childhood. I suppose occasionally it could come from our adult life as well, through something that we experienced and went through. Or maybe it's cycles that we can go through. Cycle after cycle after cycle of the same outcome. Oh, don't we all go through cycles? Most of us go through cycles through relationship area, but we can also go through cycles with wealth. We have the money, we burn it. We get the money back, we're in debt again. Cycles. Now, why is that? What is the cause of cycles? It's patterns. It's learned patterns. At some point, your mind absorbed patterns, which caused autopilot actions. And so whenever you may be doing well financially and feeling abundant, your mind will remind you that you have a belief system that only feels comfortable in debt. And even discomfort can be a comfort to us. It's the same with love relationships. I've been through this. If you're a consistent listener, you know I probably mentioned this before. the love relationship where you make ultimatums or you end it because you see things that are not satisfying to you, that aren't making you happy. And you pretty much know the person isn't going to change. So you part, and then some time goes on. And then one day you might have a weak moment and you call or text them. Or they call or text you. And they sound different. They've missed you. They want you back. Maybe you want to see if they've changed, and they seem like they have. So you get involved again, and in just a short matter of time, they're the same person you knew them to be. Nothing changed at all. Perhaps the desire was there for change, but inevitably, who we are inside will not change unless we truly want it to. And it's very individual. We'll never change for another person, no matter how much we want to. We can only change for ourselves, for our own independent growth. Perhaps you don't go through the cycles with just one person, but you find that you get the same relationships over and over and over again. Maybe the name has changed. Or maybe for some of you joyful people, you keep choosing the same name. I call that an attractor factor. You attract what you're comfortable with, even if it doesn't make you happy. It's a lateral change. It is not an upgrade. Sometimes it's a downgrade. We should always be cognizant. Not in an overly critiquing kind of way or critical way, but cognizant of what we do attract and asking yourself, are you satisfied? Are you happy? If you're not attracting enough money, that is within your mind and your feelings and your thoughts to upgrade and to attract more wealth. You have the power to change your mind, just as you, with your infinite, amazing, magnificent power, programmed your mind in the first place, with your perceptions and your beliefs. That's right. An event happened to you at some point in your life. You may have even been only about 2 years old. And you heard somebody say something to someone, or somebody say something to you, or somebody do something to you. And at that moment, you perceived that and formed a belief from that perception that was based in emotion, and you locked it in to your subconscious mind that is all powerful and only exists to do what you want and to please you. And then you went about living decades of your life on that moment where you programmed that perception. Let's say, for instance, I'll use me. About 5, 6 years old. I think it was around 6. I almost drowned in a swimming pool. So ever since that time, I have the perception that I could drown in a swimming pool. Do I still swim? Yes. Do I mosey around the 3, 4, 5 foot area? Yes. Yes. You're not really going to find me very long in the 8 foot to beyond. No, you're not. I'm not going to go way out in the ocean. No, siree. Because at that moment that I experienced struggle, I experienced helplessness and disempowerment and fear. And so I associate water with the possibility of having all those things. So I want to be in control. So I stay where I can't drown. Now, I have the power to self-hypnotize myself, whether it be through affirmations or through hypnosis itself, to form a new perception. I can bring myself back to that young child and tell her to leave that event there. That I was all right. Someone did come to my rescue. Harm usually doesn't come. I can forgive that moment. I can encourage her to leave that moment there and to live freely. I do this type of work now in my hypnosis practice, where I regress my clients back to the events that caused their habits, their perceptions, their beliefs, their blocks, back usually to their child, their childhood, at whatever age necessary. And we go 3 different times to 3 different ages. And it's very healing. So why haven't I done that yet? Because it doesn't really block me from enjoying the beach. So it's not on the top of my list. But I am sure, knowing me and knowing the project that I am to myself every single day, one day I will get that done. Because it's important just for my own sense of freedom, my own sense of unlimitedness, my own sense of being able to take risks. We should all be free to take risks, because it's through risks that we get the greatest rewards. The planned out risks. The ones that are a little bit scary, but we know are the right move to make. So that is my story of my perceptions. Now, how does that connect to what is not available to me? What is not available to me is freely swimming in waters that I can't see the bottom. Diving. For instance. So it is limiting to me. What is not available to you? Is it heights? As well as I said, those other big things that we tend to think are not available to us. The number one thing that most people feel is not available to them is love. Do you feel love is available to you fully? Some of the greatest stars on our planet were icons. We're looking for love. So they tried to do it through fame or through marriage or through having children. But all along they were looking for love. Because love is our birthright. Love heals. Love fills in the blanks and the voids. Love empowers. Love is so powerful. Love is the greatest weapon. Love is the only cure. It's the answer to everything. So how do you go from not believing that love is available to you? What do you do? Well, once again, examining, where did that start? Did it start with an abandonment of a parent in some way, whether it be physical, mental, emotional? Did it start with abuse? Did it start by someone just simply saying, you're not thin enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not smart enough? Yes, that's where it began. But the wonderful thing is, through the power of programming, reprogramming, that mind that was taught that can be changed. You have the power, as you did in the beginning, to put that belief into your mind, and you have the power to change it. So here is your homework. Affirmations, affirmations. I am lovable. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am enough. I am intelligent. I am strong. I am healed. I am healthy. I am courageous. I am wealthy. I am blessed. Write down 1 to 10 concise ones, 3 words, I am. And then repeat them to yourself at least 5 times every morning. 5 times each. And if you want, if it makes you feel good, all through the day, once you have them memorized. I do that. Whenever I have a moment where I'm kind of focused, but I'm not working, and I'm not, well, in a moment when I have an opportunity to center myself, I will say my affirmations. I feel in that moment that I have the power of my life in my hands. I am at the steering wheel of my journey. Whatever you truly wish to focus your mind on is available to you. And you naughty ones out there who know that perhaps it's not possible for you to become a rock star, right? Or something, or let's say you're sitting in a wheelchair and you're saying, okay, Lisa, I'm going to tell my body now that I'm going to run a mile in under 4 minutes, or under a minute. I'm talking about the gifts of life. And by the way, for those 2 things, don't count it out. Because whatever you believe can always happen. Your will is so strong. Your mind is so powerful. How do you know you can't get up off that chair and start running? Test it. How do you know, you wonderful, brilliant, gifted musician, how do you know you can't be a rock star? How do you know, you who act in local theater, that you can't be a movie star? The only thing that is not available to you, and I bet you there's only one, and that is you cannot make another person love you. You cannot change another's will. I should have included that as well in my little naughty examples. Because that is a truth. If you have an eye towards a movie star, let me pick one. I used to always have, like 20 years ago, I had a little bit of a talent crush on Keanu Reeves. And while I would be a wonderful and very fulfilling, I am sure, addition to his life, realistically, unless his will was aligned with mine, he is unavailable to me. Is he unavailable to me because he's an actor? No. Is he unavailable to me because he's much wealthier than I am? No. Is he unavailable to me because he tends to be a private person? No. He's unavailable to me because his will may not at this moment in time and space want to be available for a relationship, or want to be available for a relationship with someone like me. And so, things that are so direct like that, black and white, that are dependent upon an actual person, can be considered unavailable. But that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about what you deny yourself because you think it's not available. In the overall bigger picture of love, health, finances, traveling, life well lived, all that you would want within those spectrums is available to you. All you simply have to do is change your mind. And you can do it. Because you own this mind that is incredibly powerful. And this mind listens to you. This mind tries to help you avoid pain, and it tries to help you find pleasure. So you tell your mind what pleasures you by saying your affirmations over and over and over again, and you wipe out what pains you by saying all your affirmations over and over and again. Reprogram. Live the life you deserve. Live a life of comfort. I believe in you because I know who made you. I know what you are. I know what can happen. You are a miracle. and every miracle is a change in belief system. Think about that. You deserve it. Thank you so much for joining me on this Sunday. I appreciate it more than you know. And I hope that you will continue to come and listen to my podcast. And I also hope to see some comments. And I also hope that no matter where you are, that you'll consider booking a session, because sessions are available not only in person, but also by telephone and Zoom. Sessions with me are available. Thank you so much again. Remember the website, lisahop.com. Catch me on Facebook, YouTube, and here on my host site, Spreaker.com. I'm also on Spotify. You can pull me up on your TV and listen. That's amazing to me. And I'm not going to tell you something today, but very soon I'm going to have additional news about an expanded venture of mine that I think you might like as well. I'll just hint at that. A little taste today. Thank you so much again. Many blessings.